Y'all can come to y'all present accounted for. Sergeant Major, Charlie Company, all accounted for. Sergeant Major, Delta Company, all accounted for.
Sergeant Major, Echo Company, all accounted for.
Alright!
Alright! Yes, yes.
Order! Order! Post!
The United States Army is America's oldest military service and draws its lineage and heritage from the Continental Army. The United States Army is the only army in the world that defends an idea, not the mother or fatherland, not a dictator, monarch, or other potentate, but an idea where the people are sovereign. This idea, embodied in the Constitution of the United States, is what we support and defend. The storied history and faithful service of the Army began on 14 June 1775, when the Second Continental Congress recognized the need to provide for the common defense of all the colonies. Our Army has been and remains a faithful servant that won our independence, fought to keep our nation whole, helped to win the Cold War, secured America's interests and freedom for many around the world, and remains ready today to answer the call. The flag of the United States Army depicts elements from the original War Department seal that are all depicted on the current Army seal and emblem. The Roman armor is symbolizing strength and defense. The sword, bayonet, mortar, and surrounding pieces of ordnance represent the traditional weapons of the Army. The drum and drumstick symbolize the Army's purpose and intent to serve the nation and its people. The rattlesnake, holding the scroll, emblazoned with the Army's motto, "This we'll defend," represents the Army's constant readiness to defend and preserve the United States. The battle streamers reflect this nation's will to preserve freedom, no matter what the cost. Let us not forget the men and women who answered the call to duty and who fought and sacrificed on behalf of the American people. Reflect upon our distinguished record of service to the nation as we attach our battle streamers to the Army flag. Our Army was formed in 1775 by an act of the Continental Congress to fight for our freedom from the British. The war began on Lexington Green in 1775 and ended in 1783, 2 years after the decisive victory of the Continental Army over General Cornwallis and over 7,000 British troops at the Battle of Yorktown. For action in the Revolutionary War, the Army was awarded 16 scarlet and white battle streamers. The new nation expanded rapidly, but was still in the shadow of England. In 1812, our young nation was once again at war with England. The gallant defense of Fort McHenry during dawn's early light inspired Francis Scott Key's poem that later became the words to our national anthem. Remembering the War of 1812, the Army added 6 scarlet and white battle streamers. 33 years later, when the nation expanded westward, the adoption of the Republic of Texas into the Union plunged us into war with Mexico. A 5-month successful campaign from Veracruz to Mexico City is why we attach an additional 10 green and white battle streamers. In April 1861, the unity of our nation was threatened as brothers battled against brother until 1865. The nation was preserved whole again in the Virginia countryside town of Appomattox, where Generals Grant and Lee ended the war between the states. The casualties of both the Confederate and Union soldiers are remembered by 25 blue and gray battle streamers. Across the land through the 19th century, our Army fought many battles of the Indian Wars. Legendary units like the Buffalo Soldiers made the area safe for settlers. For actions taken on various fronts, these Indian Wars earned the Army 14 scarlet and black battle streamers. Remember the Maine was the rallying cry after the sinking of the battleship Maine in 1898. Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders charged up San Juan Hill, while other American forces defeated the enemy at Santiago, Puerto Rico, and Manila in the Philippines. From these campaigns, the Army added 3 yellow and blue battle streamers. Tough guerrilla warfare and the commitment of almost 100,000 soldiers were required during the campaign of the Philippines insurrection, which began in 1899. In 1900, the nation called upon the Army to preserve our nation's interests in China. For these actions, the Army received 11 blue and red and 3 yellow and blue battle streamers. In 1917, America was drawn into the war to end all wars. It was over there on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. For the battles of the Great War, the Army received 13 double rainbow battle streamers. Less than 25 years later, America found itself in another World War. Great generals like became household names, while the liberation and defense of little-known places like Anzio, Sicily, Normandy, Bastogne, Bretagne, and Guadalcanal took a terrible toll on human life. For the heroic actions of World War II, the Army received 38 battle streamers. In 1950, the North Korean Army stormed south across the 38th parallel. Under the flag of the United Nations, the United States responded with might that no other country could match. For this conflict, the Army received 10 battle streamers. Only a few years later, our nation would fight in a country that virtually no one had heard of, Vietnam. The Army fought bravely and learned many valuable lessons which would help mold a generation of future leaders. For these years of heroic fighting, the Army received 17 red, yellow, and green battle streamers. In October 1983, the Army once again answered the call for freedom to restore the legitimate government of Grenada. Later, in December 1989, military forces of the United States entered the Republic of Panama to protect American citizens, defend the Panama Canal, and restore democracy to an oppressed people. For their valor, professionalism, and sacrifice, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Campaign Streamer, embroidered Grenada 1983, and the Armed Forces Expeditionary Campaign Streamer, embroidered Panama 1989-1990, were affixed to the Army flag. In August 1990, Iraqi forces invaded Kuwait. America answered the call to duty by forming a coalition of some 30 countries. Desert Shield became Desert Storm when America's Army smashed through the opposing forces, and 100 hours later, we had achieved the objective of ousting Iraqi forces. 3 desert-colored campaign streamers marked the line drawn in the sand by the American soldier. Later, the Kosovo air campaign began because of ethnic cleansing that was taking place in the Balkans. The Army was sent in to make the country safe for all the citizens of the area. 1 red and black campaign streamer was added when the air campaign ended on June 10, 1999. Following attacks by Al-Qaeda terrorist network on September 11, 2001, the United States Army invaded Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, and on 20 March 2003, our Army invaded Iraq in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. For actions completed, the Army has added the Global War on Terrorism streamer, 2 Operation Enduring Freedom streamers, and 3 Operation Iraqi Freedom streamers. It was General George Washington who established the Army's first basic combat training at Valley Forge during the harsh and unforgiving winter of 1777. Through the establishment of standards and discipline, the repetition of drill, and inspiring leadership, they trained an army with the proficiency, confidence, and esprit de corps to win our independence. Today, basic combat training continues to forge America's Army, ensuring our soldiers are ready for combat by being disciplined, physically and mentally tough, and proficient at essential soldier tasks, by exhibiting a high esprit de corps through their commitment to Army values and the warrior ethos, and by demonstrating the military bearing the American people expect of their soldiers. Now, the commander will determine if you have met those expectations.
Battalion. Attention. Commander, have your trainees met the standards and earned the right to be called a soldier? Sir, 193. Have earned the right to be called a soldier. Sir, 195. Have earned the right to become a soldier. Sir, 186. Earned the right to be called a soldier. Sir, 179. Echo! Earned the right to be called a soldier.
Commanders, congratulate and welcome your soldiers into the ranks of our Army and to the profession of arms. Don the Army patch and beret on your soldiers.
Rock forward. Drill sergeant, face over your soldiers. Drill sergeant, patch your soldiers.
Throughout its history, the U.S. Army has adopted various headgear to identify and distinguish superior organizations. Traditionally, the beret was worn by elite military units, where aspiring members were required to prove themselves worthy to join their ranks. The U.S. Army beret is adorned with a light blue flash containing 13 white stars. The light blue flash represents the Army's original purpose, to fight as infantry. The white stars signify the 13 colonies who founded the Continental Army on June 14, 1775. The black felt fabric symbolizes the qualities of knowledge, piety, serenity, and labor, all defining characteristics of life in the profession of arms. The beret that you've donned today identifies you as soldiers in the United States Army, the greatest fighting force for good the world has ever known. You have all earned the right to wear it, and wear it proudly. Shoulder sleeve insignia were initially used during the Civil War to identify units on the battlefield. Over time, these patches provided soldiers a sense of belonging and esprit de corps. In heraldry, the left signifies protection, as medieval knights would carry their shields in their left hand. U.S. Army soldiers wear patches on the left arm to signify that the unit is a protector of the individual soldier, and that each soldier has a duty to defend all members of the unit. The right side in heraldry signifies honor, strength, and authority. These qualities were associated with the right, as medieval knights wielded weapons of war with their right hands. The Army recognizes soldiers who have deployed to combat with unit patches on their right arm. These combat patches are fixed below the American flag. This placement symbolizes the nation under which these soldiers have fought. The U.S. Army patch you've received today is equally rich in symbolism and history. The white, five-pointed National Star was originally an anti-fratricide marking for vehicles in the Second World War, but soon became synonymous with the American cause for freedom. The black, white, and gold colors associated with the Army patch represent the components of gunpowder: charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur. This patch on your shoulder marks you as a member of our ranks, a warrior, a guardian of freedom, an American soldier. Wear it with pride. Rock Force, I'm very proud of you. You are no longer trainees, you are now soldiers. A few weeks ago, voices. There was that one voice that was telling you to quit, and that voice was probably pretty loud. Then there was that second one. It was telling you to keep on going. That's the voice that got you through recruiter. That same voice you listened to that got you to MEPS, that got you to 120th, got you through the moment of truth, got you through the hammer, got you through the anvil, and most importantly, got you to the forge and got you here today. Continue to listen to that voice, which I know is growing louder and it's probably drowned out that first voice. All right, continue to do great things in your Army, and you'll have a lifetime of achievements and accomplishments that you can look back on fondly. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Battalion.
Company.
Attention!
Only those who have earned the right to be called soldiers march under the red, white, and blue banners. Stand tall now under these banners as you reaffirm your oath of enlistment.
All right, trainees, or excuse me, soldiers, raise your right hand and repeat after me. Loud and proud. Hold up. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And that I bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders. Of the President of the United States. And the orders of the officers. Appointed over me. According to regulation. And the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Cool.
You have earned the right to be called a soldier. Always a soldier for life. You joined the phalanx of the best trained, best equipped, and best led Army in history. The strength of our Army rests with the character, competence, and the commitment of every soldier in our ranks. We thank you for answering the call and are confident that each will do his or her duty to live by the Army values and to exhibit the esprit de corps and commitment reflected in the warrior ethos. Welcome to our profession of arms. You will now recite the Soldier's Creed and sing the Army song.
The Soldier's Creed.
I am an American soldier. I am a warrior never fleeing. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier! March along, sing our song, with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fight until the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Headers high, high, hey! The army's on its way. Count off the gates that are strong. Wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Funk, and I'm an American soldier. Let me say that again. My name is Funk, and like you, I am an American soldier. So today, you join the ranks of the vanguards of freedom, and you get the opportunity to wear the cloth on earth. And the uniforms that you wear represent two things around the globe: hope is hope for the downtrodden, those that have been taken over by some sort of natural disaster, some that have been impacted in some way where they need a hand up or a leg up, and they don't call anybody else. They call you, because you represent hope. And it represents fear to our enemies, because they know when you hit the field, when this uniform hits the battlefield, the outcome is already decided. You are what stands between good and evil. You are now the vanguard of freedom, American soldiers. Be proud of yourselves. I want you to remember three things. I want you to be, know, and do. I want you to be the leader that you want to be led by. I want you to know your squad. And finally, I want you to do the right things the right way. That is the definition of victory. On behalf of myself, Command Sergeant Major Hendricks, and the entire Army Senior Leadership Team, welcome to our ranks. Wear the uniform with pride. Recognize that you lead a nation and are what a nation calls on when it needs the most help. Be proud of yourselves. We are immensely, immensely proud of you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Victory starts here. Well done.
Commanders, take charge of your units.
Red force! First sergeant, move! Yes, first sergeant. Yes, first sergeant. Still with them. After they're gone, you know, just tell them like they're all right, let me tell them this. Go for it, fall out. Go for it, fall out. Cover. Count to two from the right. Tell them right. Cover. Here. Help. 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 Go left. Go left. Help. Go left. Right. Help. Go left. Help. Line it up. Help. Right. Help. Go left. Help. Help. Go left. Go left. Go left. Go left. Left. Right. Left. 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 Right. Go left. Pause the fork off to the right. Defense. March. Help. 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 Auto left. Auto left. Right. Left. Help. 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 Auto left. Auto left. Right. Left. Help. Help. March. Left. Help. And on left. Help. Right. Help. And on left. And on left. Right. 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 Left. Your left. Step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, got it. You're just to the right. Let's go. Should be soldiers now. Come on. Let's act like soldiers. Just to the right. Come on, get our picture taken. Let's go. Where are we going?
Thank you for joining us on the stream, 334th Friends and Family. We cordially invite you to join us next week on Thursday for our live stream of our graduation. Again, thank you for joining us on the 334th Soldier Ceremony. We invite you to join us next week on Thursday for the graduation ceremony live stream. This is Assassin 16 signing off.